Good morning. Today, we're on the mainland. Coming up on the bridge over the Navarre Causeway, the Sound. I guess the Sound, Bay, Inlet, whatever they want to call it. The non-external coastal Gulf area. So, stayed at the Days Inn last night here in Navarre and got things squared away. Got my permits going for Eglin Air Force Base and got a couple other things shipped home. So we're good to go. Now I'm just walking down the main drag here to get back to where the trail is, because the trail diverts off to the left if you're coming northbound off the bridge or southbound on the trail. So I went 0.4 this way. But once we get off to the, I'm gonna just talk when I get to breakfast. Okay, it may not look like much from the outside, but this is a little place called JJ Chagos. Here's their sign right there. Awesome breakfast, little local joint, little coffee shop. And got myself a cafe con leche, so pretty much just a latte. A little slightly sweetened latte. And a bacon, egg, and cheese burrito that was the bomb. So yeah, JJ Chagos, little joint. Right here off the main drag in Navarre. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. They even offered, fill up my water bottles. And it was a great breakfast. So now I am moving on down the main drag. I got about 3 miles of walking ahead of me before I actually get to the trailhead, which is in the edge of the Air Force Base. The edge of Eglin Air Force Base. So if there's anything interesting on the road, you'll see it, but otherwise I'll get back to you once I get there. I'm not expecting much. Okay, just took the cut off the main road up here, State Road 87. Looks like there's a sassy little Chihuahua up here that's wanting to rub my ankles raw. Hopefully his master will keep him in check. He's grouchy, he's grumbling. So I'm hiking, about to enter the Eglin Air Force Reservation proper. So shade is going to be my friend for a while. Got 11.3 to get to Buck Pond, which is tentatively where I'm going to be camping tonight. I'll see what time I'll get there. So let's just get into these woods up here. And here we go. Orange blazes leading into the brush. Trail bunny. Observations from the Florida Trail. First off, I could say the parts that are actually trail are very pretty. I mean, well maintained. Very well maintained from what I've seen so far. Again, it's just an initial test. But, and there's life and critters everywhere. I've had my phone in my pocket, but I just came across one of these live oak trees and there was a full-grown male green anole. I mean, he stood out like a highlighter against the dark bark. And he flared his throat at me, bobbed his head, did some push-ups. He wasn't happy that I interrupted his morning siesta, I suppose. Still, cool critter. Lots of lizards around. Another one just scampered off the ground right there. But second observation, the path is very comfortable on the feet, as opposed to pretty much all of the road walking I've done so far. just pounds your feet into submission, especially when you got a full pack. Third, it's hot, humid. No breeze comes through these pine forests, so if you were hoping for that, sorry to break it to you. If you're hiking outside of the normal season, be prepared to sweat. Obviously, I've got my hat off already. Just have my bandana on because, dang, it's toasty already. I'm raining. Already gone through a quart of Gatorade that I picked up just before I jumped into the Air Force Base itself. Stopped at a Tom Thumb. Gatorade was cheap for a quart, so I grabbed one. And almost to Dean Camp now. Like I said, I'm gonna stop there, have a break, get situated, cool off a tad, and come up with the rest of today's game plan. Made it to Dean Camp. It's just a little blue blaze off the trail here. It's got a little bench here and fire pit. Somebody found a nice little collection of spent brass and blanks. Little info board down there, and looks like a lot of nice flat tent sites through here. So all in all, a pretty nice little campsite. So this marks 7 miles even for me for the day. I'm counting the 0.4 away from where the hotel was, away from the bridge, and I started counting at the bridge, which was 6.6 miles back, and I'm dropping my water. I'm probably gonna end up just chilling here for a little bit. I got 8.6 left to go to get to Buck Pond, and that's where I am going to be staying for the evening. So I'm gonna chill, hydrate, and try and avoid the hottest part of the day. So it's about 10:30 right now, and I'll stick around for a few hours, see how much warmer it gets. It shouldn't get too much warmer, but I'm probably gonna stay here until about 2, and then see what's up. Oh, an Oli. Little lizard in camp. Like I said, these things are everywhere. There's life everywhere on this trail. Absolutely everywhere. I've seen so many of those little anoles this morning. That's actually that's a brown anole. There's green anoles, and I've even seen a Bahamian anole. So, pretty cool. It's a good day. These things are literally everywhere, and I love it. There's like 4 of them around me right now, just all hunting, grabbing up little bugs. And there is a big green male. He's probably gonna flare at me and do some push-ups. I just love these little things. They're so cool. So I'm enjoying a nice rest here on a bench. And some ordnance training is going on right now. And the sound of things, chug, 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 chug. Sounds a little slow to be a 40 millimeter launcher, but it's got some thump. Hard to forget that you are on an Air Force base where there is active training. And I'm just enjoying a little shade, lying on a bench here in the Dean campsite. So fun out here. Well, if I needed to get water, this bridge, by the way, the first bridge I've come across, that water is insanely clear. Kind of tannic, but yeah, that's a beautiful little stream. But I don't actually need any water. I still have 5 liters on me, 4.5. So that is Dean Creek. And of course, if you're going northbound, shortly thereafter, you come to the Dean Campground, which is the last campground that's actually in the forest before you get out to Navarre and the beach, which would be your last section of walking. So pretty cool. There's actually, excuse me, I had a good nap when I was at Dean Campsite, by the way. There's actually a hill up there. You gotta climb a whopping like 20 feet. I get a kick out of that. But yep, now I'm on a little boardwalk. And yeah, this is shockingly diverse trail. It's beautiful down here. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, that's cool. I gotta get a picture of that. Don't step off of this section. You'll yeah. Well, if any of you were looking for the SS Andy Dufresne, I believe I found it. Although I don't think it's where you left it. Was not expecting to see a trailerless boat back in the middle of the woods. People just using it as a dumping ground now. But it's right off the Florida Trail. That's the Florida Trail right there. Continues right here. So, if you were looking for it, there she is. Never know what's around the next corner. Okay, highway scramble. I'll see you on the other side, but just one thing to remember. If you ever see a gate, make sure you leave it the way you found it. If it's open, leave it open. If it's closed, leave it closed. I'll get through this thing and I don't want to play Frogger, but here goes nothing. And maybe 6 kinds of humid and 7 kinds of hot right now. But this is a pretty cool little stretch of woods. Currently skirting the westbound edge of Eglin Air Force Base, and wildlife everywhere. I busted up a covey of what I'm only assuming is bobwhites. I've seen more anoles than I have since the last time I went to a PetSmart. I saw a barred owl, 2 red-tailed hawks, and more spiders than I can think of. Side note, with nobody hiking this trail this time of year, you're going to find every single spider web that's going to cross this trail. So just be warned. Pretty cool little section here. It seems there's been a fire through here fairly recently. There's a lot of char on everything and no undergrowth whatsoever. Everything that's here is emergent and new. I don't know if it's prescribed or if it just happened, but I mean, the upper story still looks good, but everything in the underbrush is brand spanking new. Doesn't smell like smoke though, not like it did when I was rolling through Georgia last year. Shortly after they had their prescribed burns, where you could still smell the smoke and the char on everything. This, no smell to it. But it has been eventful. I dove off trail to take care of some business, and whoa, coral snake. Okay, under this little log right in front of me is something extremely special, something I was only hoping to see when I came down here, like hoping. I'm gonna lift this log and I might have to move pretty quick, but I want you to see this. This is the one species I was hoping to find when I came down to Florida. And I damn near stepped on it. Okay, sorry, I'm just really excited right now. Let me turn you around. You can see a hint of it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a coral snake. That is the first coral snake I've ever seen, and it is beautiful. I can't even describe like the rainbow coloration coming off of it. Freshly shed. Definitely has to have been a fresh shed. Remember, red on yellow, kill a fellow. Red on black, friendly Jack. Oh man. I'm so excited right now. That's the most beautiful snake I've ever found in my life. That's incredible. I'm gonna try and get a couple pictures of her. Well, there she goes. What an absolute beauty. Bucket list critter right there. Oh man. Ugh. Bucket list critter. Eastern coral snake. And there's a little skink right here. I'm lost. I'm at a loss. I'm absolutely speechless. That is the one species that I wanted to see when I came down to Florida. I didn't think it was going to happen. They're so hard to spot, so rare. And even with their colors, they blend in so well right now. Ironically enough, the black of the char. I mean, let's turn you around. The black of the recent fire, the lighter colored leaves, you know, some are kind of whitish, some are kind of yellow, some are kind of tan. This environment is perfect for that snake. I can't tell you the last time I can officially say that I was giddy, but I'm giddy right now. Wow. And it ducked onto that little dead log after I damn near stepped on it. I was just looking at my phone, not paying attention to what was around me. And let's not make light of it. That could have been a trip ender. That could have easily been a trip ender if I had gotten tagged by even that little snake. You got to respect nature. It is absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to say right now, I know how to deal with snakes. I've had experience dealing with snakes, a lot of reptiles, all kinds of other things. I would not recommend ever trying to roll a log like I did to get a better view of that snake. I don't recommend rolling any logs if you aren't ready to potentially deal with what you see. Because down here, there's copperheads, eastern diamondbacks, timber rattlesnakes, cottonmouths, aka water moccasins, and of course, the absolutely beautiful coral snake. So, well, the Appalachian Trail and a couple other places, you're likely to only see copperheads and timber rattlesnakes for the most part. You might see something else every now and then. There are far more species down here that are capable of ruining your afternoon. So you gotta respect it. You gotta appreciate nature for what it is. But that was beautiful. That made my whole trip. I could go home right now and I'd be happy. Beautiful snake. Oh, going back, by the way, I was telling a story of what happened when I dove off trail to take care of some business just before I saw that coral snake. Well, so I was a couple 100 feet off trail, didn't have my phone with me, didn't have anything else. I just had my poo trowel and my ditty bag. And a bear walked up on me. I had a bear walk up on me with my pants around my ankles. This day is becoming extremely eventful. It seems the most recent traveler on this trail has been a wild turkey. As you can see, its footprint is on top of the shoe print. This is a wilderness right now, ladies and gentlemen. I am the only person who has seen these trails in a long time. At the very least, a couple weeks. And I'm okay with that. It adds to the adventure for sure. Makes things a little bit more complicated for sure. Right now, I'm adapting to every situation as I come to it. I'm not making any judgment calls. Right now, my main judgment call is personal safety. Oh, look, more turkey tracks. Those are recent. Those are very recent. The sun hasn't bleached out the sand where it was. Interesting. I might get lucky and see a turkey today too. Add to the list. I would assume this is a very productive hunting area. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, I'm going to evaluate every single day as a safety situation. Water obviously is my main concern. Second, in very short order to that, is the turkey was running, something scared it, is my water consumption and the heat index. Actually, second is the heat index. Because right now, I'm hurting with the heat. You know, obviously I'm heavier than I was last year when I was hiking. But I'm also not built for this kind of weather. And I'm getting used to it. I'm crash coursing it right now, for sure. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I may have to call a break and come back and do this when the weather changes. But right now, I'm just going to take every day as it comes. I'm going to get through Eglin Air Force Base and at that point, reassess and obviously check in with you. Let you all know what's happening. And I'll check in again when I get to camp. Okay, seeing the length between these turkey tracks here. He was running from something at a real good clip. And looks like he ran off in that direction. So I don't think I'm going to see that turkey. Darn it. He was walking when I first saw the tracks. He was definitely running by the time he got here. Oh my, I'm climbing a hill. I've had a couple hills today. Nothing more than about 30 feet, but when you've been walking flat for 40 miles so far, you notice. Well, there's one thing I didn't hope to see just yet was hog sign. This is definitely done by hogs. Yep, a lot of hog damage all through the undergrowth here. Not so much over there, but there's plenty on this side. It's unfortunate. I really don't want to run into a hog. I'd rather deal with the bear I saw earlier. This is textbook what happens after you have a fire. Get this flush of all this bright green new undergrowth. Like that oak tree's growing back from nothing. All these ferns. All this undergrowth. That's the cycle of renewal, everybody. The woods need fire in order to prosper. It's got to clear out all the dead stuff, clear out all the duff on the ground to make way for new plants, really. It's always cool walking through an area like this, though. That's home for tonight. Nice little area. Not bad. Not bad at all. I was kind of terrified coming down here because this is my water source for the evening. And I'm glad it's still an actual water source. It looked very dry from where I was, but I'm going to be able to collect, hopefully right there, at that little outlet of what looks like a grown over beaver dam or something. But I'm gonna have frogs singing me to sleep tonight, and there's a breeze coming this way. Sorry, breeze coming from that direction, so I'm gonna set my tent up perpendicular to the flow, and I'm gonna leave my flaps open tonight because there's no chance of rain. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some cross flow going and probably drop down to my skivvies because I am not sleeping with wet clothes on. I'm sweating so bad. But I'm gonna set up, get some water filtered, rehydrate, and turn in. So I'll let my son off here in a little bit. Well, in case you were wondering what sound blue herons make, they kind of sound like hippos. Let me turn you around here. Yeah, crap. Anyway, they've been at that for a couple hours now, so that's my going to sleep sound. But it's been a good day. It's been an eventful day, but it's been a good day. Tomorrow, I'm gonna start bright, and actually before bright and early. I'm gonna start well before the crack of dawn. I hope to be hiking no later than 5:30. Try and beat some of this heat. And yeah, tomorrow's another day. So that's all I got for today. So like I always say, thanks again for watching. Make sure you find that reason to smile today. And I'll catch you in the next one.